So something I wanted to talk about today here in Forza Horizon 6 is simply down to the autumn season. They were talking about this and showed like a small clippet of it back when the game was being revealed. Driving around this map, guys, in the autumn season truly is so dang amazing. I gotta admit, it is probably one of my favorite seasons in the game so far. We obviously have not seen winter yet, which is coming up next. Looking forward to seeing what that might do to the map and how that might change some things around it. I'm super interested in that. But my goodness, though, the way this game looks in autumn with how the tree coloring is and the overall atmosphere in different parts of the map, it honestly really does hit you in basically every single way. Like seeing the sun shine in, seeing the bright red trees and orange trees just shine through the sunlight. And the funny part is I was kind of waiting for certain times during the day. Like right now, you guys will see me in the Koenigsegg Gemera. I think I said that right. But I was looking for this one road over here because I love the way both sides of the forest look here with the autumn setting. They were like bright orange, red, and it was just beautiful with the sun shining in on this road. I kind of kept looking around. I'm like, well, you know what? Maybe I should wait for some of these roads and find more areas that I could also kind of explore a little bit and just check everything out. One thing I also really do like a lot is the fact that when you look at the hills in the background and different parts of the map, you can also see how the trees do have the autumn setting. You can see the orange and also the red on those in the mountains in the background. Then you could take up and go up another road there, and you can also see how that road has like the beautiful autumn setting. It gives you like a really cool feeling and or vibe. And yes, I might use vibe a little bit in this video because it kind of does fit that pretty well, and that was something I was looking for in different parts of the map. One of which, guys, the one place I had to go to and kind of visit was indeed the city or near the city. One of the roads you guys probably recognize is obviously the one you have to go around to get into the city in the beginning. But this is kind of a place I wanted to check out, though, because I knew this road was going to be really nice heading into the city, seeing the coloring of how autumn was in this. Because when I knew autumn was coming, I was like, all right, I got to check this out. I got to go explore different parts of the map. I have to go see how the city looks, to notice if the trees in there were also autumn, to give you that feeling that we're in a different part of this season. You know what I mean? Because they could give like a coat of paint and then kind of walk away from it. This is one of my favorite things about Forza Horizon 4 as well, was simply down to the seasons. And if you are wondering, yes, I am going to do an autumn comparison from 6 and 4. Do stay tuned for that. I'm kind of waiting for the autumn season in 4 so I can actually get footage and play it a little bit. But this road here in the Nissan, guys, I had to hit this road up and head into the city because I kind of had a feeling it was going to give you a really cool vibe the entire time you were doing it. And the funny part is, it did not fail at all in that regard. When I finally went down the road into the city itself, just seeing how the autumn trees are, seeing the hills in the background with all the orange and just red trees popping up everywhere, it kind of reminded me a lot of Colorado when I lived there, because obviously here in Florida, we have a little bit of autumn type of vibing, if you know what I mean. There's some trees that change colors, at least where I am, but it's nothing like this. So when I was playing this game and seeing this, it kind of reminded me of Forza Horizon 1 vibes as well, because you could really feel the overall setting on how the entire map changed with this. Like, they didn't just go through and change like a piece of it. You kind of feel the aspects of, oh wow, I'm kind of driving in a different map now in ways. You know what I'm saying? And going through the city with this setting is actually really nice. I think a lot of people might end up liking the autumn setting the most, as that's at least where I was anyway. And one of the other things you also could do in this aspect is to go up and hit some of the Toge Road areas, which is something I also had to do, guys. I was driving the GR86. This is actually the one from the story thing. I figured it would fit this kind of well. You know what I'm saying? It's a pretty dope car. But it was also raining, and I was just kind of driving slow. I'm like, wow, just check this out here quick. I really do love the way this feels. You guys can actually see the overall, like, fogginess of the rain coming down between the trees with the sun coming through. I really do love that so much. Just the detail of it, the feeling it gives you when you are racing down some of these roads in different parts of it, like raining at this time or dusk or nighttime. And then also the middle of the day and stuff. But right now, guys, seeing like how the cloudiness is there with the fogginess of the rain coming down, which is something I know pretty well here in Florida. Obviously, we get pretty crazy downpours here, so yeah, it's kind of fun to mess with. But the thing is, though, when you are looking at this and going up and down these roads, the last thing I kind of wanted to do was race. I was just kind of cruising along the roads and just checking out the scenery and how this really did feel. And to be honest, I kind of think it really did bring me back to Forza Horizon 4 and 1. Like, the overall thing you might be looking for in these racing games is how the game makes you feel when you're on these maps. Does it give you that overall vibe and feeling like you want to put on music or just mess around or even cruise around with your friends? And I kind of feel like FH6 for me really did kind of hit every aspect there. But the thing is, though, I also waited for the rain to stop to see how this area would look without the rain, guys. And just check this out. Isn't it kind of crazy? It feels like two different areas almost. When the rain would stop in this area, you don't see it. It's nice and bright. You can see all the trees around you. It's crazy driving in this and then heading into like summer or spring and noticing how all of this isn't there, which is probably why in Forza Horizon 4 I kind of always drove in the autumn setting, which is probably something I loved about it. But I think a lot of players would end up jumping into this setting here in FH6. Now, obviously, this will be over on Thursday. We'll have to wait around 3 weeks for this to come back. But I gotta say, I do like how each setting of this is actually really different. I did also like the spring was cool. I did enjoy that. I'm looking forward to seeing how the winter is, to see if that might end up changing. And with that, when I was cruising, I was wondering if I could find different roads, and I decided to jump into the Land Cruiser here. Perfect vehicle to drive off-road, am I right? But I did find this little dirt road over here, which is something I will touch on in a different video. There is a lot of roads in this game like this that are not on the map, and I absolutely love that. It kind of makes the map feel bigger, but I wanted to go on this road here. Guys, just check this out with the view in the background. You can see how not every single tree is obviously orange and red in the background on the mountain, but you can also see the detail of them even in that aspect. It's kind of funny how when you go into the camera view, you have to change the thing so it doesn't look, depending on how your settings are and all that. But I really do love how you could see certain parts of the mountains and all that with the main color trees. This is something I noticed in the Hunter Call of the Wild on the New England map, is you could pretty much see a beautiful autumn type of setting, but also parts of the forest isn't always that color. Some is green, which you're seeing in this game here. And I'm like, you know what, let me go drive down this road. And my goodness, guys, I was just kind of in like an entirely different world, to be honest, when I was driving down this. I'm like, man, just there really is not a lot of racing games, or basically any, that can probably give you this type of feeling with how this map is actually set up with the seasons and all that, because I don't think any other racing game does seasons, for that matter, because they'd have to go through and change the entire map, which is way more work with basically everything, if you know what I'm saying. But when you are cruising around and finding different areas on this roads and just different areas off the map like this, guys, when I'm on the Land Cruiser, I'm like, okay, well, let me just go up here and see what's going to be up there. You know what I mean? It kind of makes it fun because you can go explore different areas and see how those parts of the map change when the seasons do end up coming in. This is something I really wanted to do. Even jumping into the Ram TRX like you guys see in this clip here, I figured, let me go jump into this. Let me go on this one road on the other right part of the map, kind of like on the, not all the way in the mountains, but near the bottom right-ish top part of the map there. I wanted to go on the dirt road area because I knew there was going to be a lot of beautiful orange trees everywhere, red, and just really good colors everywhere. So I'm like, you know what? Let me go on this off-road area and just drive the Ram over here. And surely enough, it really did hit in basically every single place, dude. This road felt so dang amazing. But what I loved about it, though, is even despite driving on some of these roads already, when it was spring or summer, I figured, let me go over here and see how these areas would look in autumn. Again, I'm looking forward to winter. But my goodness, though, the views and the overall atmosphere of this map, guys, in the different seasons, to be real, it honestly hits so dang well. Like, they've really captured it to an absolute T, guys. Just checking out this in the Ram here, I'm like, wow. I literally was pretty much doing this for over an hour, just checking out different parts of this area and kind of just driving around and just seeing how the map looks in different parts of autumn. Even going on the beach over here and going into like the camera view, just seeing the distant mountains and all that with the autumn setting. It's just, I love it. I really do love it because it changes the way you actually feel when you're racing on the map. And I know I probably said that a lot, but it really is true, though. I was not expecting it to do that to me either. I was kind of thinking, oh, okay, well, it's just some different colors. But no, I wanted to go and explore other parts of the map again just because of that. It was kind of wild to me. I really was not expecting the game to give me that feeling when I was like, all right, well, you know what? That's probably not going to be all that great. But now that I'm driving around more, simply because I wanted to see how they would end up looking in the different parts of the seasons. And I knew different roads and all that when I was driving on them in the rain or different things, or in dusk and nighttime, as I mentioned before, were all going to give me that kind of vibe I was really looking for that no other racing game actually has, guys. Even driving the GT4 RS right now, as you will notice, it was raining on this road, and I was just like, man, just look how this feels with how the cloudiness comes over the trees and all that again. It was kind of, the sun wasn't really shining. It was a little bit darker over here as it was coming up. So obviously you could see the sun like shining on top of the trees. You see the bright orange top of the trees. Maybe I just am losing my mind just getting hooked into something like this. I don't know, but maybe that's just what it's come to at this point with how I am with games. I really don't know. But you know what, guys? I could probably keep yapping about this. Do let me know your thoughts on autumn in the comments below. So far, what is your favorite season in Forza Horizon 6? And I'm sure I'm not the only one looking forward to the winter season. As I did mention before, do stay tuned as I will be talking about Forza Horizon 6's autumn setting to Forza Horizon 4's.